while you're getting yourself put together there, Troy is coming out. He's talking about using your podcasting skills to secure grants. And as you know, many of us in the nonprofit world and many of us in the cause-based world know, grants can be the lifeblood of your organization. In fact, a lot of folks are actually using grants in order to have a podcast. So there might be a lot of benefits of getting in on this action. We talked a little bit about this the other night when we were doing our clubhouse on nonprofits. Troy, is your camera?
I'm having a little bit of issue right now that wasn't coming through before, so give me one more second.
All right, no problem. You want to try sharing your screen at least? So,
well, the little green button
Hello.
is out there. I followed the link from the emails, and it's just not there now.
Oh, that is fun. All right, let's see if we can. Oh, you know what? I think what we have to do is promote you to a panelist.
Okay. Great enthusiasm, Brian.
There you go.
What else did they say?
You should be able
All right.
to do everything you need to do right now.
Should I type the link again since my broadcast timed out?
Everything now.
There you are. Ah, look at that. Front Porch Studios, big yellow shirt. All right. Sorry we were getting started here just a couple minutes late, but everyone, let's have Troy Price take it away. Thank you, Troy.
Not a problem. Thank you so much. Let me put into context what we're going to be talking about tonight. Matthew's first presentation was about, putting the podcasting for nonprofits into context. Then Brian Williams just talked about bootstrapping. What I'm doing right now is
Q&A.
talking about the grants for using grants, but
I saw that already.
Both perspectives, the podcaster and the actual nonprofit. So we're going to start with the podcaster, thinking, helping with their mindset of getting to securing grants to work with nonprofits. And then also at the end, we're going to start talking about, to take it to the higher level, about grant writing in general. So it's going to be a good, almost like, micro discussion of grant writing there towards the last half. What I'll do every so often is check the chat box, see if there's any questions or anything that I should be aware of. But I hope that it's going to be informative, interesting, and informational for you as well. All right. Let me know if there's any questions along the way, and I'll try to respond.
Join in Zoom? What happens if I join in Zoom?
All right, so you as a podcaster, so all the podcasters out there.
Do I want to join in Zoom? It's going to launch the meeting.
Promotion. And then finally, they're not going to have any other thoughts about podcasting unless you've primed them for that discussion already. All right. However, those nonprofit directors or staff people that you're just going to talk to, they already understand the value of project managers, and audio editors and engineers, social media managers. They understand all of those and how each of those individual skill sets can benefit their organization. So all we have to do is think about, in addition to being podcaster, list these other skills that help those nonprofits. Okay, and a great way to double down on the skills that you can offer to the nonprofits that are out there. The best way is to incentivize a relationship with nonprofit organizations by grants. Okay, so you can go out and talk to them about your editing skills, and they'll maybe give you a DJ event at one of their events. But if you do incorporate, hey, there's some money here for some grants where we can do some great work. Okay, that's a discussion that they're probably going to want to schedule some things for. and actually talk with you a little more fully about the opportunities. All right. Before we go to the next slide, I see a question and answer there. Oh, the sound's a little low. Great. Thank you for letting me know. You could give me a thumbs up or something along the way, and I'll also speak louder. Okay. Alrighty. Right in the chat. Let's look for a second. Yes. Okay. Good deal. So I'm glad that I checked that out before going into the next slide, because eventually
how do I close that?
into the nitty gritty that if you don't have a notepad to write some things down, or the notes, the notes feature of the device, get those ready in a little bit. There are going to be some things to jot down. All right. Oh, this is interesting. It's still doing the live transcription. Let's see if I can freak it out. Okay. Rhubarb coccyx snuffleupagus. Oh, see, it did not.
Did it work?
Here we go.
Rhubarb coccyx snuffleupagus. Did it work?
Here's the steps in that process that I just discussed.
Live transcription. Let's see. Full transcript. Rhubarb coccyx. It spelled that wrong. Did it get snuffleupagus?
First, encourage you to network with nonprofit organizations that you already have an interest in.
Wait, where?
All right, so don't just try to blanket everyone. If you are
Rhubarb coccyx snuffleupagus. That's funny.
Nonprofits that are also committed to animal issues. What about children's issues, or education, or social justice? Any of those, start to narrow with just those, and then network. Use those skills that you have of reaching out. I would like to talk to you just about how I can maybe help you. Be aware of those programs that are out there. The next step is to research grant opportunities that can help those NPOs. Now, they probably know, the grants that you're going to discover at this point, but I've got a however. They're not going to know those grants in connection to your skill set. All right? So I'm going to give you 2 tips on where to find internet research, and actually talk a little bit up about that, okay? The first is, of course, as it says here, an internet search. You're going to be able, through that process, to cast a wide net. Lots of results are going to come back when you look at, grant opportunities or free money. Who doesn't search that every day? A downfall of that, what I find, though, is that there are issues not their current funding processes as quickly as as we would like. If there is a downturn in the market, or there is an issue with the foundation, what they do is sometimes not let you know immediately when you do your Google search that they're going to skip a funding cycle, and so you put all this effort in and don't get that immediate result that maybe you want. So we'll talk about how to overcome that hurdle in just a little bit if you just want to use the internet search capacity. But what I really want to encourage you towards is your public library, because it's my understanding that every public library in the country, okay, not each individual branch potentially, but a branch of a certain size has a grants center, all right? And they're going to have some things that you would have to pay for to have access to via your internet searches, but they provide that for free for you as part of their services of the library. An example of that is there's a grantsmanship center, and they have a huge database of grants that maybe are not searchable because they aren't internet based as of now. All right, you can access and find those much easier than you can Google search, and also there's a person there that should be trained on the services that they offer. So you'll have a live person there that you can say, well, help me with this kind of search, and also some more up-to-date information about those grants. Okay.
Poor
So
reception.
you have a grant that you particularly
What if I
like
turn off my
that
camera?
matches the nonprofit organization that you have a heart for and your skill set. The next step here is the actual writing of the grant. I want to talk about like a template grant, what you see on your screen. Then I'm going to give you these 3 examples. But don't worry, because in about 10 or 15 minutes, nope, less than 5, we're going to be talking about different specific processes for writing the grants. Okay. Uh, I see a question in the chat there of what is the Grantsmanship Center. It is an organization for people seeking funding or those funders to get their promotion out there. So if you Google that just online, what you'll find is it says here's some free information. However, if you would like to buy access to our amazing database, which
How do
really
I
is amazing,
type it? It didn't send.
pay for this, and you can do that if you want to, but it's free at the library. Okay, so that's good to know. Let's keep going on, and I'll revisit this just in a second.
Okay,
All
it
right?
is there.
Here, a template grant is simply, let me backtrack for a second. The power of being a consultant for different organizations and different individuals is, 70 to 80% of the questions you're asked are the same. And so what you have to do is answer those 70% or 80% really well, and then use your own, your experience for the other 20 to 30%. Okay. So a template grant is writing 70 to 80% of the grant and have blanks in there because each funder does have some different information that they want to know that's different from the others. Okay. So you've got your, your copy ready to go for a grant. And then when you find a specific one, what you do is insert that information for each nonprofit. And it's an opportunity there for you to reduce your work close in time to when you're talking to the nonprofit person. Okay. Here are a few examples of grants and the kind of things that they fund with example skill sets that we looked at before. Okay, so the grant may be for a organization to do some research, and from the research that information has to be made public, right? Okay, well, you can put in that grant that you're going to make that information public through traditional and new media means. And who's a great new media person? All of us podcasters out here. All right, that's the way that you're weaving this into a larger grant. The grant could be for 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, and the part for promotion of the results, could be 7 to 8, and you would fit into that area. Okay, the organization may have to, due to quality, continuous quality improvement standards, have to interview past clients for service satisfaction. And you know who has interviewing skills? You, the podcaster. All right. So that's how you could find a grant to support the organization in revamping how they coordinate their service gathering. Yes. And then your piece of it is to actually do the interviewing so that the agency staff doesn't have to do that. All right. Then the last one here, this is a little more traditional, but their agency website may need to be updated. And you could bring to the table that you have experience in creating websites for personal interactions and group interactions there along the way. Okay. So definitely think about that. Let me check the chat just for a second. There is a button just below the screen. Let's see if I can see my waving hand right here. So like right down there, if it would work out, it says live transcript. If you click on that, one of the options is to hide transcript. Is that right? And that should be able to take it right off of there. Let me see. And I'm going to go over to Zoom there at the very end to see if there's any comments or questions in there. But let's pursue. Okay. So after you have that template grant, let me go back. After you have that template grant written, the 70, 80% of the grant, and then you're approaching the specific nonprofit saying, I would like to write this grant. There's a couple of things that we'll talk about at the end to make sure to having that conversation. But most of your work is done. And you can take that to several different nonprofits, particularly connected to the agency website. If there are updates that they need, just think about it, that there are lots of websites that need, lots of updating. And that could be your job, particularly with your skill set. All right. So I'm going to give you 3 resources to do some search and give you some examples for where some grants could be. And then we're going to talk about grant writing in one slide. All right. So open up Google and search for community placemaking grants. All right. There are national, regional, state, and then local organizations all about how to encourage local areas to keep their uniqueness. We live in a strip mall society, but if you can, there are funders there that are getting a little bit of money to pass on so that local areas can keep their interesting things. So search for that, and with the mindset of what's your skill set that you can work into that. There's another thing to look for: capacity building grants and also the organizational capacity grants. Search for those, because that's really where funding for new websites and other technical things could definitely help you out. And you're bringing your podcaster's perspective to that grant. And that could be what sets your proposal apart. Well, I guess the organization's proposal apart from anything else that they're receiving. Okay. Then the last thing is oral history grants. It is great when there are organizations that want to capture either their own history or the history of the issue that they're addressing. And that is where, with your unique skills, you can, as a podcaster, come in and really help them with that process. If you've never heard about oral history before, let me give you the little nugget of how it's different than traditional interviewing. Simply, in a traditional interview, you're trying to talk to a person towards a specific point or make sure that they get a point across. With an oral history report, the interviewer simply sets up, the person that they're speaking to and asks for prompts to really talk about their experience. So it's not for a particular purpose. It is gathering that person's knowledge about, a particular point in time or a particular event. It's some fun work. So that is great. All right. Let's go on. And here is grant writing in one slide. And you can do this. Okay. Whoever is here listening to this live or listening to this recorded days after the fact, you can write a grant. All right. So one, what you need to thoroughly review is the grant application and then the process, because they are going to tell you in their application everything that they want to know, when the application is due, and how you are to submit. Sometimes you have to, even in 2021, make a physical copy and send 3 copies to the funder. Sometimes you have to submit it online, but they're going to outline exactly how to submit it. But here's the beautiful part. They tell you exactly what they're scoring for. So when they say, I want you to really address how this applies to the real world or furthers the mission of the foundation, you have the opportunity to really beef that up, because it could count 25 points towards your total score. All right. So be aware of what they're funding, what they're looking for in the application, and spend the appropriate time on each section. Because it is daunting to think about, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to write a 25-page document. And really, you don't. They lay your 25 pages out into 25 things that you're talking about. And so you're just responding to one thing at a time. And then when you get to the end, oh my gosh, it's 25 pages. All right. Before the submission process is closed, make sure to contact the organization and confirm that you understand everything that's in that application process. That's kind of like when you send a resume out and a cover letter, you contact the folks to make sure it was received. And that's really not about confirmation. That's about keeping your name in their mind. This is the same thing. All right. And you do that again in 2 steps when you confirm that it was received. Okay. So follow application process exactly. If it has a number 1 and it says number 1, tell us about yourself, reply back in your answer. Number 1, I am going to tell you about myself. The section where I tell you about myself, be that specific. All right. Let's go down. At the point of you are given a grant, congratulations. Okay. What you want to do, which is much like what Brian said before, is that is something that definitely the media is going to want to be aware of. Okay. But what you should do is encourage the NPO to be media active while the submission is under review, because they very well may Google, the organization. If you're active before they give you money and are successful, it may attract, them to your organization. All right. Promote that award consistently, follow the reporting requirements exactly. And here's why you're doing that, because you want to make note when you can apply for that grant again. Usually they have at least 1 year off, like you get a grant for one cycle. You can't apply for the same thing, the next cycle. But there you go. A year later, you can go to the same funder for the same organization for the same project, and then you're there. So by having, from the nonprofit side of things, here's your goal. There's the grant writing. Think about it the way that I presented it in just a little bit ago about working your skill set into those grants. And then lastly, I've thrown a lot of information to you. I can help you as well. There's my email address, and I can talk to you, about everything that's in this presentation. If you want my slide deck, feel free to shoot the email and I'll send that to you. And if you have some simple questions, and of course we could talk about some other things about consulting and making this in a little greater detail. Let me check the chat here in Zoom. Okay.
Hey, Zoom. Great job so far. One of the questions we had that I wanted to make sure we got from you was, you mentioned a grant template. Do you have a link or anything like that you can share with everyone as far as that grant template?
Right, that grant template, it's so individualized for each grant that that what you are creating is the template part is your skill set and the nonprofit's general history. But the part that you're missing in is how at this time, what you're actually proposing. So there's not a template as in, fill this out and you'll get a grant. It is that marriage of your skill set, the nonprofit's mission, and then the funder, what they're looking for. And that's the 70 to 80% that almost, writes itself that you would continue along the way. Okay?
Gotcha. Also, earlier, you mentioned the Grantsmanship Center.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about them? And I'll see if I can find a link to it while you're talking about it.
Okay. There are loads of different organizations like this. The Grantsmanship Center is really just one of the ones that is the most reputable, maybe, or most extensive. There's a word, extensive. And if you go there, you can, there will be a listing of some funders on the topic that you search for or in the area, regionally, geographically, where you're looking for. But if you go further, you'll probably run into a paywall. And that's why when you hit that paywall, what I do suggest is, go to your public library. Let me search as well, just Grantsmanship Center.
I got the tgci.com. We put the link right here in the chat for everybody. So
my gosh.
Who's looking for that, they can do that. Also want to thank you for totally messing up those subtitles earlier and having people repeat what you said. The language was quite colorful for this conference. And all of a sudden I see a note. All of a sudden Chris pops back and he goes, "What is going on in here?" Because he just saw the subtitles. So thank you for that. How soon, I guess, there's a question that pops up in a different spot. It's a little bit more sponsorship than grant writing, but how soon after you launch can you start thinking about grants? I mean, is there any sort of rule of thumb for should you wait? Should you jump right into it? Right? Like, what's the thinking there?
Well, that's the beauty of thinking about grants rather than sponsorships, because you don't necessarily even need an audience. You're connecting to a nonprofit's mission, and the mission, and pairing with that, what you have to do is, you're writing to do some project, connect with that funder's money to further that mission. If it is a podcast, like you're promoting those research findings, you don't have to do that at all. You simply just say, I've got this great idea. I'd like to produce a podcast with you. Here's money to do the project, and I'd love to do the podcast. That is a relationship that I would think the nonprofit, as well as you could be benefited by, even without a podcast in place.
L. Cole, or Ella Cole, apologies if I'm mispronouncing, says, right now I'm getting emails from many people telling me to apply for grants that their organization is offering.
Wow.
I think Troy's eyes said it. What are you waiting for?
Exactly.
Any problems with applying to too many grants, right? Is there any, problem with
so we're going to talk
that
about
function?
ethics.
Do these people talk?
Right, we're going to talk about ethics just for a second with that. And usually it's best practices to, and your nonprofit partner will probably know this as well, like shop your specific grant to one funder and then get the approval or the rejection. And then you can take that rejected. The other agency will not know that you're applying for. And it's really just, you have an excellent proposal. And unfortunately, someone else had an excellenter. I was trying to get that excellent. And a better, just unfortunately a better proposal for you. So that's, that's just the roll of the dice during a submission cycle. So it's better to not blanket out. And we, that's something, we could have a discussion later about, the bad side of applying for all the grants. But, try to just do it one at a time, and your nonprofit partner would agree with that.
All right. Well, once again, it's Troy at frontporchstudios.com. His email is right here in the chat. Troy, any last words before we move on to Adam?
Thank you so much, and I look forward to Adam's presentation.
Well, that is quite the quite the farewell, Troy. Thank you so much. Great job here tonight. All right, Adam, whenever you are ready, we'll have you come on. Adam is talking to us tonight about, and I'm just losing my place. Adam was a late addition to the sled, but really glad to have him. He's going to use how to use a podcast to ramp up your marketing efforts. So earlier we talked about how you want to market your podcast, but now how is that podcast going to help you in marketing in other places? Adam, looks like you're good, ready. You want to say hello? Make sure I hear you.
I'm as ready as I'm ever gonna be. So does that count?
Sounds lovely. He's looking good. Adam, the floor is yours. Take it away.
All right, let me share my screen here. Make sure everybody can see it. All right, you got my screen?
Looks great.
All right, well, let's get rolling. This will be fun. I know maybe you've been on this for a little while and done a lot of listening, so I'll see if I can keep it upbeat and a little bit of fun. We'll go through some high-level stuff and then have plenty of time for Q&A. I like to give short talks and lots of Q&A. That's always my goal. So we'll see if I can pull that off tonight. So I'm Adam Walker. Yes, I do always wear a fedora. I'm a husband, father of 6. You'll only see 5 kids in that picture. That's because we're in the process of adopting number 6 from China, but have been delayed due to COVID. Founded a digital agency in 2010, was acquired in 2019, co-founded actually a couple of things, and I'm doing a couple of things I'll show on the next slide, so I'll skip that part for now. I do have 3 podcasts, TikTok Y'all, which is a tech news podcast, and it's pretty humorous and a lot of fun. Together Letters, which is a podcast about my new startup, and I host the national podcast for Susan G. Komen. So I talk about breast cancer and try to ask good questions and seek good answers from really smart people. So those are my podcast credentials. Here are the things that I dabble in. So the first is I'll mention I do have a marketing and technology newsletter. If you'd like to sign up, that'd be great. I'm not going to press it beyond that. Together Letters is my new startup. It's collaborative email newsletters. So it helps teams stay in touch with only email no need to log into anything or be a part of any other social media or anything else. So it's great for teams or families or whatever else. I co-founded 48 and 48, so that's part of my nonprofit ventures. 48 is a nonprofit, and we build free websites for nonprofits. We actually typically build 48 free websites in 48 hours. We've done a bunch of events all across the world. We'll have about 4 events this year. If you need a free website, you should sign up at 48and48.org. And then last, my day job, as it were, I'm CMO at TechBridge, and we're a nonprofit. We help nonprofits with technology, specifically nonprofits in the space of trying to alleviate generational poverty. So I'm honored to do all that. Happy to answer any questions during our Q&A about any of those ventures or things or anything else. All right, this is what we're here to talk about. So I want to talk about using a podcast to create massive amounts of marketing material, which sounds crazy, I know, but bear with me. I'm going to walk you through it. So I love a good conversation, right? A 30-minute conversation with good questions and smart people is fantastic.
I'm going to check the trending board. And I'm getting coffee.
A 30-minute conversation is jet fuel for your marketing. That's what this talk is about. And you might ask, well, why not just write? Like, why not write some articles and pump out some blog posts and all that sort of stuff? And I would say to you, to write a good article, a good blog post, you're going to spend a day, maybe 2, between writing and ideating and editing and everything else. Or you can have a 14-minute long podcast that produces 2,500 words when transcribed. It needs basically no editing because it's a podcast, and you can get away with bad grammar because it's a podcast and nobody cares if you're speaking bad grammar. I don't know why that is, actually. It's kind of odd if you think about it. But nonetheless, you get my point. You can create massive amounts of written content through a transcript very, very quickly, which is great for just getting content out in general. It's great for SEO. And I'll show you all the stuff that we can produce with that. You can create massive amounts. I would also mention, and this is not necessarily a part of this talk, but I've got to say it. A podcast is a really powerful sales tool. I mean, really powerful. Like, if there are people that you know of on LinkedIn that you would love to talk to, and you'd love to talk to them about your nonprofit, and you know that they will not respond to an email. They will not respond to an in-message or whatever LinkedIn calls their premium thing anymore. What they might respond to is a request to be a guest on your podcast. And I have found remarkable success in getting very high-level people on a Zoom call with me, specifically because I've invited them to be on my podcast. It is amazing. I've talked to the head of marketing for Susan G. Komen, which is how I ended up working with them. Talked to the head of marketing for March of Dimes, for ACLU. I mean, people that should not ever return my emails have returned my emails and even become friends because I had them on my podcast. So you can use it now. Maybe sales is the wrong word for nonprofit, but you get my point. You can use it.
How do you get out of this chat?
And not in a way that's dishonest either. I mean, you really want to get to know them. You're just doing it through the means of interviewing them for your podcast.
Jeez.
So a 30-minute podcast, and I just say 30 minutes. They don't have to be 30 minutes, of course. They could be 10 minutes, they could be 15, but you're going to get more content with a 30-minute podcast. So for the sake of this particular conversation, I sort of gauged it that way. So with a 30-minute podcast, you can produce 20 to 30 marketing assets, okay? So let's break down what just a couple of those assets are. I had to do it. I'm sorry. Of course, I had to list a podcast episode. And I know it goes without saying, but listen, podcasts are great. People love podcasts. They love subscribing. They love listening. You get avid listeners. And what I love the best about podcasts, and this is specifically true for my tech news podcast, Tech Talk Y'all, is that you get some really avid fans that will tweet at you and give you feedback on episodes and all kinds of stuff. And it's really pretty great. So just having a podcast episode in your arsenal is really a valuable thing. The next is, like I mentioned before, about 5,000 words of copy. That's a ton. And so you can take your podcast and you can use a tool like Temi.com, that's TEMI.com, and you can run it through their software and have it spit out a transcript. And then you can just kind of read through the transcript and make sure it didn't get any words particularly wrong or horrifically wrong. And then you can post that on your website. And then that becomes really good content for Google to crawl and then rank. And so then if you're having targeted podcast conversations about specific topics that you are sure you want to rank for in Google, then you can post those transcripts. You can do a little bit of optimization with some simple tools. And then ideally, you'll begin to rank better and better and better in Google for those keywords and keyword phrases, right? So it's just a really great tool to create massive amounts of copy very, very quickly. So the next thing is 5 to 10 YouTube videos. So you might ask, okay, Adam, why would I take one interview and make a ton of videos? Great question. So number one, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, second only to Google. Of course, Google owns both of them. So you want to give YouTube a lot of things to index. The next thing is that the YouTube's algorithm is going to give preference to video producers whose videos are watched all the way through, right? So if you do a 30-minute podcast interview and you post that whole 30 minutes on there, like, come on, what's the likelihood that somebody's going to watch the whole 30 minutes? Like, not super likely, right? But if you take that video and you cut that video up into, say, 5 to 10 segments, and you post those on your YouTube channel one at a time, then you're likely to get, and maybe they're 2 to 3 minutes long, then you're likely to get someone to watch all the way through. And then your rank in the algorithm for YouTube is going to improve. And then you're going to get better ranks, which means you get more views, which means you're going to get more traction and more traffic, right? And that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to build audience. We want more traffic. We want more views. So, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm a big Saturday Night Live fan. And it cracks me up because, like, my favorite segment on Saturday Night Live is the Weekend Update. The Weekend Update is what, maybe 5 to 6 minutes long, max, right? And they take the Weekend Update and they make it 3 videos. And this is why they do it. They do it because they know that this is how this works, that this is how YouTube works. So the next thing you should consider doing to make your videos easier and faster is create a quick intro and outro and use the same one every time. It's okay. We don't need to make this complicated. So I suggest using Canva, canva.com. If you're not already on canva.com, and you're thinking about any kind of marketing, do yourself a favor and get on there today. It is amazing. It will change your whole world as it relates to marketing. That's a whole different talk. But get on canva.com, create an intro. You can create like a little quick video intro. You can create a little video outro, and then you'll have those ready. And then number 3, use a movie splitter or a movie editor.
What?
But there's kind of a
Did I just
movie splitter
erase?
sort of term out there. But you can use iMovie. There's a number of free ones. As a matter of fact, I'll share a resource in a little bit that has an article with 5 top free movie splitters for you. And but take that, you just drop in your intro, drop in your cut up video, that one segment, that one question, that's a few quotes, drop in your outro, you got your YouTube video. You're ready to go. It's fantastic. It takes a little bit of time to get started. Once you get in a rhythm, once you've done it a few times, you won't have any trouble. Next, let's talk about this. So 10 to 15 social posts, right? So that's where we all get tripped up. We get tripped up on social. It's overwhelming. Social media is a lot. Where should we be posting? What should we be posting? What should it look like? All the questions. So let's just break down a couple. Quote graphics, okay? These are great. Canva is great for these. You can get a photo of your guest. You can go steal their photo up on LinkedIn if you want to, or have them send you a nice headshot that they approve of. And you can put it on there with a little quote from them and their name and make it all look fancy and nice. And you can take one podcast, and I mean, a good podcast guest is going to have, I don't know, easily five good quotes. And just as a free piece of advice, as you're recording your podcast, whenever your guest says something that's just brilliant, like have a little timer running on another screen, like a little stopwatch from when you record to when you stop. And just jot down in a piece of paper. Just jot. Oh, sorry.
Transcribing audio.
Too fast there. Anyway,
Okay.
just jot down
Canva.com.
what the timestamp is. So then you know, like, where to go back. Just really quick. Just do it real time. Save yourself some time. It'll be great. So you can create, I mean, easily 5
Wilford, where are you?
out of a 30-minute.
You get more views than me.
Next, memes. Right? Memes are always fun. I'll have a link for you to a meme creator, or just look up meme generator on Google. There's tons of them. But you can create funny memes. You could use quotes from the podcast, or you could create some kind of meme or phrase related to that specific topic. Social polls. I mean, you're asking people for their opinions about things on the podcast. And often those opinions might be yes or no. Is this a good, is doing grants a good idea? Of course it's a good idea. Yes. How would you go about it? So you can create social polls for that on most social networks and social media sites. Next, don't be afraid of text posts. Like, it's totally fine to just post a quote from your podcast in text with a link to the episode. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You should absolutely do that. It might not catch people's eyes as much as a quote graphic, but nonetheless, it's not going to hurt you to try. And honestly, as you post all these things, you'll begin to see what works, what doesn't, what do people interact with, what do they not. And then last, I would strongly recommend this. I love these short videos with a still image and kind of that little moving waveform, that you see. I see it a lot on Instagram. There's an app called headliner.app. It's really great for this. You can get a ton. I think you can get 10 of those a month on the free plan, which should be more than enough for you. So I use it a lot for my clients. I use it for some of my own stuff. It's really great. And you can do way more with it than just that, but I just use it kind of for just those basic things. So next, you might be thinking like, okay, that's great, Adam, but it's going to take a lot of time. Like a lot of time. And you're not wrong. It's going to take
Well,
some
if I
time.
can't read with you sitting on the screen.
So what I recommend is batching your work.
How to create content faster.
Okay, so let's look at just a few quick things for that. I'd recommend carving out 2 days a month. And I know maybe that sounds insane.
Produce for 3/4 of a day.
But I think in 2 days a month, you can create so much content that it will carry you for the month and beyond potentially, and could really fantastically ramp up your organization's efforts. So I think it's worth your consideration. So here's what I would recommend. First of all, I always recommend starting with like 5 episodes just ready to go before you even launch, just so that you're good and you have a good base to work from, so that if you do take a week off or you take a vacation or whatever, kids are out of school or whatever, you don't get completely derailed. So that's first. Next, I'd recommend take a half a day and record 5 episodes. And that might sound crazy to say in a half a day record 5 episodes, but I will tell you right now, it doesn't take that long. Like, you hop on Zoom, you do a little preliminary warm up with your guest, you tell them how it's going to go, you read the intro, you roll into the questions, and then you're done. I mean, there's no reason for a 30-minute interview that you can't be in and out within 45 minutes. And so, recording 5 and 45-minute segments is going to take a good solid half of the day, but nonetheless, you can get other things done that day as well. So I'd recommend considering that. Produce for 3/4 of a day. So edit all the podcasts at once. Just knock it all out. Create a little assembly line on your screen of all of the intros at once and outros at once. And then do the same thing with social. I mean, just cut it all up, build it all, create it all at the same time. And then take some time to schedule it all. You could use a tool like Hootsuite. Hootsuite's great for that. You can even have a little paid plan where you upload a CSV file and it will auto schedule stuff for you. Or you can just do it manually and build it all out manually, whatever works better for you. But the bottom line is it will make your life infinitely easier if you just batch all this stuff together and knock it all out at once. A few other tips as we're winding down, and hopefully we'll have some good questions. If you haven't already started thinking about questions, I'd really appreciate it if you would. And we can talk about all kinds of things related to marketing and podcasts and nonprofits. But a few more tips to move quickly. Number 1, create templates. So templatize everything. Create several different templates in Canva. Use those templates over and over again. Make minor tweaks here and there, but then just go to town with those templates. Have guests schedule themselves. If you're not already using calendly.com to make scheduling appointments with people significantly easier, like, listen, ignore everything else I've said in this entire episode, this entire talk, and go get calendly.com. Get the free version. It'll revolutionize your life. But you can set it up where people can just auto schedule during free times on your calendar. And frankly, I would do it where you have 1 day a month that's available, and they just book it on that day, and they're good to go. Next, I would ignore perfection. Perfect edits are just pointless, honestly. No one notices the very occasional or Now, there are sometimes big things that you need to, edit out or whatever else, or maybe a guest says something that they ask to be edited out, and that's fine. But we can get lost in perfection.
Wolf, can you get my coffee, please?
Don't need to because the audience is often very forgiving, especially if our content is amazing, which is the last point. Focus on quality content. Quality is what matters over and over and over again. So you've got to have good conversations, good interviews, or if you're not doing an interview podcast, that's fine, but good, high quality, high value content that people can really get behind. That is absolutely critical. So that in mind, I do have some free resources for you, and I will also pull over a different window and just show you some of those here in just a moment. But I've got, if you want the full list of free resources, you can sign up for my newsletter. I've got that nonprofit marketing newsletter that I mentioned a minute ago. There's the bit.ly link if you'd like to sign up. I would be genuinely honored if you would consider signing up. But if not, that's okay. I'm going to show you the list here in just a second as well. And then if you want to contact me, there's all my information. I'm happy to be of service, much as Troy offered. Happy to
wait, NP-Mar?
Many kinds. And let's see if I can.
Wait.
Those tools that I promised right there. So we've got Zoom. I love Anchor FM. Canva, Linux, Buffer is pretty great. Timmy, Meme Generator, Headliner, Hootsuite, Restream, and Giphy. So all great things. All right, Matthew, I see you. Do we have any questions?
I don't see any questions popping in. I think some folks might have jumped in for dinner, but definitely some positive notes here. Talk to me about Restream. How are you using that for?
Okay, Wolf, let me try and get it.
So full confession on that. Restream is I'm brand new. I haven't even signed up yet. So I'm actually hosting a live. We are live streaming a pre-recorded event for my nonprofit this Thursday night, and we're going to use Restream to do that based on all my research. So tune in, and I can let you know.
Did it screenshot or not?
I believe it's Quayin Duffy. It's not Colin, but I'm going to try Quayin. It says StreamYard.com is better than Restream. There's a lot of services like that. Repurpose is another one. Restream, Riverside, something like this.
StreamYard is great, but it does not do. StreamYard does not allow you to upload pre-recorded videos and then live stream them at a designated time. And Restream does allow. At least that's my understanding on the research that I've done. So,
gotcha. Yeah. All right. We do have a couple of questions. So one I saw pop in earlier from Sati. Adam, how do you batch content when your podcast format is primarily interviews? I don't think that really. I think you kind of answered that one, but I don't think that really changes.
Yeah, I honestly think interviews are easier to batch content because basically you just look at every individual question that you ask them, and jot down your timestamps, and then go, oh man, that's a great answer, that's a great answer, that's a great answer, and then you just go pull quotes from all those answers. So I actually find that interview podcasts are probably a little easier because when you're producing my Susan Komen podcast is an interview podcast. I'm interviewing breast cancer survivors and doctors and things like that. So I'm primarily listening, which means I can jot down notes as we're talking. But my Tech Talk Y'all podcast is really like I'm commenting on tech news with a co-host. And so we've got to be bantering off each other the whole time. There's no time to take any notes. So all the stuff I do have to go back and listen to after that.
All right. Another question coming in from Ramina Muhammadaj. Sorry again if I butchered that a little bit. And I think this is a really good discussion to have. Would you suggest to make a full podcast episode as YouTube lessons? If you have tried that, have you seen it help with SEO? Now, I think you started to talk about the full episode as a YouTube video, and I think there's a lot of schools of thought here. But I'd love to have this debate with you. What is your thought on full episodes as YouTube videos versus just the clips and the other stuff?
I'd cut up the entire thing. I'd take the 30 minutes and cut it up into 5-minute segments, if at all possible, or less. Honestly, 2 to 3 minute segments.
Do you not post the whole thing?
What's that?
So I had a client who actually did this. They would post the entire episode, and then they would still post segments, and 2-3 minutes here, 5 to 10 minutes here. But you don't seem to be for the whole thing going up.
I mean, I kind of fall into the category of if it's working well for Saturday Night Live, it's probably for a reason. and honestly, I mean, that's just what I see a lot of people doing, because I think you're more likely to get a good hit on the algorithm by doing it that way rather than having one large thing. The large video is just not going to perform well. Now, I think you can post the large video I would do it later. So I would cut it up the segments. I'd drip out the segments over time, and maybe a week later I would do the large video. But just recognize the large video is not going to perform very well. So you might do it for like your avid users that really want to go end to end on it. But if you're using it for marketing purposes alone, as in new users and new viewers, I think you're better off with the small segments.
You know, I had a discussion with Daniel J. Lewis about this a bunch of years ago, and he made a couple of good points that I think reinforce what you were saying, which is, you know, there are plenty of people who consume content on YouTube as if it's the only platform, right? Do you have a podcast? Is it on YouTube? Not going to watch it, right? Not going to listen to it. Like, they don't know what a television is. They don't know what a DVD is. Like, all they know is if the content is on
That's
YouTube
right.
or not.
Yeah.
And so, right, like there are people like if you don't put it on there, you're invisible to them. And your point earlier, second largest search engine, it can help. But what Daniel was pointing out was if you post a 60-minute episode and it's just one of these, you know, still images, audio coming across for 60 minutes, it doesn't really move. Sure, there are some people who, like we said, they consume all their content on there, they're going to watch it. But others are going to come across and be like, oh, this isn't really a video. And after a minute or so, they're going to bail.
Yep.
And what he was saying was, if that happens, right, if your 60-minute content is only being watched for a minute or two, what you've basically done is you've taught YouTube, hey, YouTube, my content sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to finish watching it. And so if you were going to put out long-form content, it could have an impact on the ranking of your better, more, you know, more platform-appropriate content.
Yep.
And so I've seen people say, like, they put full episodes on a different channel.
You put them on Vimeo. I mean, that'd be great. Put your clips on YouTube and your full episodes on Vimeo.
But yeah, so it's one of those things where you got to watch out for if you, you know, if you are posting the full episode, you might want to have a separate channel for full episodes because you don't want to take away from your YouTube specific channel and content. If you're not all that worried about growing a YouTube channel, right, you don't need, you know, to be 1 million subscribers, then yeah, go ahead and post it. It can't really hurt. Back to Romina, also posted just on YouTube or on all social media too. What would you suggest? So this is another great question, right? If I have a video, do I upload it to YouTube and then share that YouTube link to Facebook, Twitter, or do I upload it to each of those platforms so they all have native video content from it?
Yeah, so that's tricky, and it's going to really depend on where you want to grow your audience. So if you are specifically looking to grow YouTube and you don't really care about the other audiences, then you post on YouTube, you share links, and that's it. You're done. If YouTube is your only focus. If your goal is to grow across all platforms, you want to share natively on each individual platform because Facebook is going to prioritize a video that's shared as a Facebook video rather than a YouTube video. LinkedIn is going to do the same thing and prioritize it the exact same way. I mean, all the platforms want you to post natively. That's the entire point. So you're going to get better performance and better engagement by posting natively on their platform. But again, that's assuming you want to grow all of your social platforms evenly. If you do not, then you want to think about that and how to weight it instead.
Well, I think even to your other point about some of the other platforms that we are on, if you can post it live, right?
Mm-hmm.
Live video is much more powerful than an uploaded video, even if it means using those repurposed or restreams or whatever to trick Facebook into saying this prepackaged video is live, right?
Yep.
As everybody knows, all these social media apps, unless you tell it otherwise, they notify you every time somebody who you follow, pages, groups, all those things. Every time a live video happens, you get a notification. Whereas if I just say, here's my latest video, upload, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody about that.
Yeah, it just gets to the bottom of the algorithm at that point. Yep, absolutely.
Right. So if you can post native and post live, there is a big advantage to both of those.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
What do you say when a guest? I mean, I assume it's just part of the routine, but what about guests who don't want to do video?
Yeah, so there's a couple of options there. One is you can offer to do more video editing if they look bad or say something bad or whatever else. Though I don't know that I'd recommend that. It's just going to be a big headache. I would say if a guest does not want to be on video, first don't capture the video at all. Just cut it out during the interview. And then second, I mean, you can post a video with a still image, on YouTube and audio over it. And there's great ways to go about that. I mean, it's not ideal, but it will still get your content out there, and it will honestly still often be consumed that way.
So you wouldn't even suggest, like in this case, instead of me having video, right? Like, what if I were to just put like a still image up so you could still make a video?
Yeah.
Or is that not even worth it?
Well, I mean, you can do the still image thing. That's I mean, honestly, if it were me, I would just put a nice, pretty image after the fact in post production and be done with it, rather than trying to go back and forth and do all that sort of stuff. But I mean, I'm all about the shortest and simplest version of something in order to achieve a means to an end, because ultimately people aren't really there. I mean, with a podcast, really they want to hear the content more than anything. The seeing the content, I mean, it's not like we're, racing a jet ski here, right? We're just talking, so it's okay.
It's funny, when I used to work in radio, anytime we were having a bad night, my producer would always say to me, he's like, listen, relax. We're not doctors. We're not surgeons. We are not going to kill anybody if we make a mistake on the radio broadcast. Same with your podcast. Take the pressure off. Nobody is going to get hurt because of your podcast, right?
That's right.
You can't slip and nick an artery because you forgot to hit the record button. I mean, it sucks, but nobody's going to get hurt doing it. I also wonder, by the way, how important are the lower thirds? Do you think about a lot of graphics on your video as far as like identifying person, title, things like that?
So I'll just confess, I don't worry about it. Now I probably should, and it's probably a best video practice to have solid lower thirds and have name and title and all that stuff. But I'm typically introducing a person. I'm saying the name of the person in the interview anyway.
I was like, where's Wolf Wolf? I sent him to get my
More time
coffee.
to go back and add that stuff in, and so I will honestly often just overlook it and keep going, because it's really, again, it's just about the content. It's like the last couple of slides in my deck. Like, I can go for perfection, or I can just get it done and get it out there.
So if you could only have one of the tools that you talked about, right? You had to scrap everything. Which the one tool you couldn't live without? Honestly, besides the mic, obviously. But
man, well, I mean, there's the mic and there's Zoom, because I record on Zoom. So I guess I'd have to skip that. Canva. I mean, Canva's where it's at. I mean, if you want to make something look beautiful in any marketing, but in any material of any kind, I mean, Canva's where it's at. So I would spend my time there.
yeah, I used to have a free Canva. I definitely found it worthwhile to invest in the whole thing and make sure that I can use my logos, my branding. The transparent PNG option is the most worthwhile function of anything, I think, out of Canva, because you can do a million things with your logo once you have that. And Colleen, I think I got it right this time, says, as a guest enters the studio, they put the name in the lower third and is easily there. That is referring to StreamYard. And yes, that is definitely.
Where is he seeing these comments?
StreamYard definitely wins that battle in terms of the presentation looks nice when you hop into a StreamYard, and the way that it does look good. But and they might be recording individual audio files now, so it might be getting a little bit better. But there's a tool for everybody out there to manage their podcast and manage more effectively. So find the one that is right for you. Try them all. Stick with it. Most of them are free trials, things like that. All right, so we are coming up here on 7:30. So before we say goodbye to Nonprofit Podcast and Nikon, Adam, one more time, let everyone know who you are and where they can find you.
I'm Adam Walker. You can find me, easiest place is my website, adamjwalker.com, or Twitter at AJWalker.
Beautiful. Great Adam, tips. Thank you so much for enlightening us with all that stuff. And like I said on Friday, I'm envious of your repurposing ninja abilities. I'm going to have to get a private lesson on how to do that effectively and quickly, because
anytime, my friend.
I get bogged down by that stuff. But all right, Chris, I'm not sure I think we're done for the night, so not sure if there's anything you need me to do.
No, thank you to Adam. Thank you, Matt. That was awesome. This is a wrap for first night, pre-week. You guys did amazing. Thank you all. Everybody in the chat, thank you. Adam, that was excellent. I really enjoyed it. And Matt, thank you for making our life so much easier on our side of the equation. We appreciate you.
Glad I could help in any way I could.
All right, be good. Bye, Adam. Bye, Matt.
Chris, keep up the amazing
Bye, guys.
work.
We'll see you tomorrow morning. We start tomorrow at 10 a.m., I believe. We'll see you in the schedule. Bye, guys.
Hey, Chris. All right, let's see what the updates are for HAPS. And I still need my coffee. Why does it say live? Is it over? No.
Olga Boga, my twin sister. Carrie, is that you? Did you make an Olga HAPS account? What's going on? How do we contact you? Oh, I'll give you my email. So for those of you that need my email, it's going up in the comments now. So go ahead and
Thanks.
screenshot that.
I asked, will there be a way to block trolls?
Any chance we will see improvement on comments during replay? Comments during replay, meaning like you want to see the comments come up the same way that they came during
There's
the live
already
broadcast?
how?
If so, yes, that is on our list. And we hope to implement that in the near future. However, as I mentioned earlier, the two main updates that the team is working on right now is latency of comments during live broadcast and the HAPS viewing experience. Obviously, those are like the two new updates, but Android update is coming this week, and some updates to the Discover tab.
Others telling
Conversion
existing, what? I wanted
conversion
clarification on others telling existing account holders
I don't know what that means.
to set up a second.
Oh, you mean like convert your
account?
earnings to coins? Yeah,
Who should I email?
We'll consider that in the near future here once the team gets some free time, which is never the case. But once the major updates are all rolled out for you all, and the improvements, we definitely look into some of the like wants. Will there be another sale on coins in the near future? That's a great question, Ryan. The last time we had a sale on coins
Comments are the same size as
was
before.
the last weekend of January and the last few days of February coming up. So who knows? I don't know. We'll have
Yes,
to
you
ask.
can block users by going to their profile.
Good question here from Cher. Latency and lag. So we addressed this a bit earlier, but that is what our team is focusing on for the majority of this week. So do expect some updates further from us. It's a huge priority for both broadcasters and viewers. Need to be able to talk in closer to real time. So we've heard you. We've heard this from viewers and broadcasters. And we've noticed it ourselves. So certainly a big priority.
I can't hear him, and
We'll do everything we can to bring it down here and make sure that it's in the ballpark here where you're expecting and smooth as can be. So thank you for that. What's free time? Chris says, what's free time? Free time for us is also HAPS time. Let's see. It's not important. Sometimes I like to just listen to a broadcast, interact. If they see me there, I feel like I have to respond. Got it. Yeah, that's fair. It's on our map for right now, but definitely, some people have said they like not seeing who's in the room. They feel less stress or pressure as well as broadcasters. So, yeah, up to. I think we'll have to have a little bit more discussion on this. It's definitely on our list, but it's not in the near term here right now.
Yeah. I may have missed a few questions here. Sorry.
I think we probably just missed a few.
What percentage does HAPS take on coins? So I'm trying to understand what you mean by that. So I'll answer one part of it, and then if that's not it, ask again, and I'll answer the other part of it. So when you receive an award from a user, like the High Five Award, that goes to your earnings, though. And from those earnings, when you request a payout, you get 100% of those earnings. So when you're receiving awards as a broadcaster, you're getting 100% of that, both in the process of it going to your earnings and in the payout. And if it's the other part of the question, then go ahead and let me know, and I'll answer that as well. I think I know the answer. Actually, I don't think I know the answer. Peter, do you know the answer?
No, I don't. And
okay.
so
We'll have to find the answer and get back to everyone on Thursday.
I also have been mainly trying to answer all these other questions as they're coming in. So
yeah, are puppets allowed on this app? Asking for a friend. Yes.
Indeed, most certainly they are. Bring out the puppets. Let's do the thing. It's time.
Great job.
Were they holding off for a reason, or puppet o'clock?
I know, right? So for those of you that are still have their login streaks going, I'm curious to hear how many days you all have, because I'm at 124.
Yeah. Gosh, I was at 107, and I missed the day, guys. I missed the day
Wow,
2 weeks ago.
that's embarrassing.
It was horrible. It was gut wrenching actually when I signed on. It was like 1 day in a row. I was like, no.
Yikes.
Yeah, I was traveling. I didn't have any internet either, but no excuses, guys. I just had to get that off my chest. Not proud. Not proud. 10, 70, 60 range. It's pretty good. Harbor Journal says Twitter troll who could not be blocked.
I just answered that question. So if you have a troll from Periscope, you cannot block them from within Haps. You can mute them, and then in order to actually block them, you would have to have like a Periscope moderator on and have them do it for you, or you would have to go to Periscope on a second device or find them after the fact and then block them. But unfortunately, we just don't have the ability to have you block users from another platform yet, and I don't know if that's even possible. 66 or 67. Great job, Helen.
Every day since I joined, I've not logged out. That's amazing.
Wow, Lenny. Great.
Incredible. That's incredible.
That's a great number. Johnny B, 72. Amazing. Raymond's at 68, 71. Wow. That's awesome. Y'all are amazing. Space Gal, 66. Am I late to the party? Retta, you already missed the party. You're not just late. You completely missed it. We have 30 seconds left of this broadcast. Oh, weird. They were unblockable on Twitter. I don't know what's going on there. I mean,
that's like a Twitter issue to me.
That is a definite Twitter issue if that's the case. Luis, 120. That is 120. The closest number I've heard to my 124. Amazing.
Wow. That's incredible. I think I was right up near that range when I fortunately had my hiccup. But let's see here. Started in December sometime. Never missed a day yet. Wow. Impressive, Rick. That's awesome. Wow. It's a hard truth about playing music. Foamy. Oh, do you mean in the background? Yeah. Foamy, for now, you're pretty much taking that on, your own onus there legally. So, we have the responsibility, obviously, to respect all IP laws, remove things on our end immediately if they're reported to us. But, it's your choice and your discretion right now. We
What did he say?
And you guys can see we do not have anything like Twitch, right, which automatically will basically cover over or mute certain sections. So essentially, it's kind of your skin in the game. So use your best judgment and be respectful.
Shout out to Joy. That's 55 days in a row.
That's
great
awesome.
Job. That's awesome.
That's great. Chris Gales in the house.
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Speaking of music, Chris Gales has said, feel free to use his music from Spotify.
Hi, Jenny Mitchell. Thanks for subscribing.
Chris is incredibly talented. I've seen a few amazing musicians here, just in the comments here.
Yeah, Rick Bozart's in the comments.
Yeah. Chris.
Olga's in the comments.
Is that a musician? I'm not exactly sure.
That's a musician in disguise.
Foamy has a great show, says Rick. Yeah, big time.
Foamy does have a great show. And Batterman is promoting his friend Eddie McDaniel, who's going to be broadcasting tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Time. So that's great. That's exciting. New users.
Plug. Yeah, use this time in the comments to give some updates about your next show or your friends. Yeah, why not? You got ad space here in the comments. Tell us what we should be watching.
Right. Will there be a problem in the future with the Christmas broadcast with music? So, yeah, like Peter kind of answered earlier, it really just comes down to general copyright law. You'll have to understand that's just, there's no way around that.
Yeah, so it's possible in a nutshell, but probably unlikely. Yeah, we don't really have any legal advice for you on that front. We don't have our terms of conditions updated yet, so please do your best.
I just opened up Olga Boga's profile and the photo is hilarious. Great times. It was great seeing Foamy and Snack Cup.
Who's Olga Boga? Let me check.
Foamy doing amazing broadcasts with other.
There's Joanne Pham, but who's Olga Boga?
Puppeteers.
Trying
We have to get Master Sammy back on Hats. We haven't seen him in a while do a broadcast.
Where's Olga Boga's profile? Let me look.
Are we able to load videos? I tried, but it wouldn't load. I did drag and drop.
Olga Boga.
So
Let's
make
see.
sure it's in a .mp4
profile.
.mov video file, and if it doesn't work to drag and drop, hit
View
upload image
profile.
video, that button there, and then find
Moscow,
the video and you'll find
wife
it.
to be.
I thought we could use music we have paid for. I won this argument on another app. So Betty, it depends on what you mean by what you've paid for. You're not allowed to repurpose or restream music that is owned by someone else unless you have rights to repurpose and restream to that music. So sites like Artlist.io
Who's Carrie Longlive?
and a couple of others have music licenses that if you pay
Why
for a
isn't it
subscription
opening
to
when I
their
click on
sites, you can download and use any of those songs for your content.
What?
Make sure to follow. I am much better than Carrie Long. I don't know if that's true, Olga Boga. You don't have any content on your profile. I have to wait and see.
Have to judge your performances.
I have to DJ along in the Foamy, so there is a way to get around DJing. I know that there's a way to get licensing for that as well, which would open that up for DJing. Oh wow, Bannerman and Chris Gales apparently have met in person here, and that's awesome.
That's awesome. Small world.
Hey Joanne, hi, how's it going?
Who
It
said
was my
who?
original with a video attached. Oh, yeah. So make sure it's in a proper video format that we accept, MOV or MP4. Those are the two main video formats that we accept. I would like to begin a help group. Oh wait, are you? Did you try to upload it as a post or upload it in the studio? Try to upload it as a post. I know what the issue is, and I'll fix that now.
I really like your idea of a help group for those. Yeah, Q&A for elder care and Alzheimer's support for caregivers. Yeah, I think that's a really amazing topic. Yes. Speaking from personal family experience, they're incredibly important to raise awareness, and yeah, love that. Let's see, Bernie Dillon.
Hey, sure, good seeing you. Brenda, how's it going? I have a question. All caps, Lenny. Is there anything from us that you would like to see more of, and would you like more celebrities to join or no? That's an interesting question. So, really, you all are doing an amazing job. And yes, as Peter said, yes, have everyone join.
Have everyone join.
To be honest, the more people broadcasting, the more we build this community, the more discoverability the app gets, and so on and so on, right? Like it's kind of like a effect of growth there. So more people broadcasting means more fun, I think. So yes, bring them all in. Yeah, let's keep it that way. No nudity on apps, please.
Yeah, I really
is it possible have a roundtable with people with mental health like me with autism and others? That's a great suggestion, Eric. We'll have to
like that
find some
idea.
time to do that at a roundtable. Yeah.
Love that.
We'll email you, Eric, and maybe ask you for who do you think is a good candidate for that.
Just says, okay, I'll invite all the celebrities. Invite them all, though, and we are happy to connect with them individually and help on board. Hey, Beth, Hoover Fitness in the house.
Yeah, I enjoyed. Well, can we also give a shout out to Beth? she finally had great weather in Dallas, Texas, which was awesome to see, and she was outside for her workout today, so that was really cool. So thanks, Beth. So I need to actually join you in a broadcast, because I often do find myself taking a pause and doing your workouts. I get up and into this little space that I have behind my chair, and I just do them with you for a little while, and then go right back to work. April 1st, you're going to get pulled with subscriptions.
Sorry, I dropped the phone.
I have an April Fool's joke planned for everyone, but I'm not going to give it away now. One person in the chat knows what it is.
Lisa.
Yeah. Lisa says, I was so into this broadcast that I forgot I was making a quesadilla and burned it. Oh no, Lisa. Sorry about that. Not that
That's a bummer.
Quesadilla.
So that's also kind of funny, because I'm having quesadillas for dinner today. So yum yum yum. But don't burn your quesadillas.
You should post a photo of those for us. Make us
I will share. Yeah, it's a chicken quesadilla. So yum yum yum. Can I have music playing in the background when I'm streaming? Another one. Bernie, so to answer this question again, essentially you could run into copyright issues when doing so. Chris Gale suggested deleting the broadcast after the fact that you've done it. That's one way to get around it. But just, be wary.
Wary, not weary.
I'm gonna wait till the latency is sorted so they don't moan at me first. That is fair, though. Give them the sneak preview though. Give them a little sprinkle of haps before that.
Yeah, give them
It's
a little
coming soon.
teaser. Give them a little, teaser there. It's coming soon, guys. For those who are just joining or joined in the last few minutes, so main updates today, just to summarize, are categories coming to the Discover tab, like right after this broadcast. Momentarily, they will be, kind of the first initial iteration here. So we'll get to them, probably add in some more, change them out, figure out, how this is all going to shake out here. But, to popular demand.
Peter, remember when I said we had 30 seconds left? That was 10 minutes ago. So one last shout out here. Eamon, I think I'm pronouncing your name right, says, my name is Eamon. Yassine and Retta Moore put me on Haps, and I'm loving it. Welcome to the Haps community. We're thrilled to have you. Everyone that you're seeing here in the chat is awesome, and you can give them a subscribe. Also, shout out to Yassine and Retta for introducing you to Haps. That's really great. Is that Mike Patton in the house? Hey, Mike, I got a reporter that covers the Jacksonville Jaguars coming, but not sure if he is the high-level celeb. Any celeb is a celeb. So that's great. Did Bobby join? Hey, good seeing you here, Bobby.
Bobby in the house. Shout
Awesome.
out. Right at the end, we were just about to sign off.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but our updates in a nutshell are Discover tab now has categories, testing it out starting tonight. Our team is working on latency, reducing that for comments lag, right? And also the Android app for broadcasters experience will be coming out at some point this week. So those are it in a nutshell. We will be back tomorrow for Tutorial Tuesdays in Espanol and maybe another in English.
Can't hear you.
I am talking with my mic muted again. I was ready to leave.
I was checking my computer to be like, did I accidentally hear you again?
You've done it before. You've muted me.
It's over. So.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We will see you all tomorrow for Haps en Español. I will be doing a broadcast with Lucia in Spanish, going over
see
the
you,
Haps
Jenny
broadcasting,
Mitchell.
Full breakdown of Haps, and then I'll also be doing a secondary tutorial Tuesday where I will be talking about how to adjust the text size for iOS users once I get a handle on how to do that actually. But yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow and probably tonight. Hello.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, Peter. How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm in the sun. What can I say? You know, coming from the Northwest, it's nice every time we get a little bit of sunshine. How's everyone doing today? Let us know where you are watching from. Sports for the Blind in first. Doe Darling coming close in second. Hello, Doe. Good to see you.
I didn't realize it was such a race.
It's a race. I'd like to pretend it is, but I guess Yassine was here. He's usually one of the first few as well. He was here exactly on time, and I may note that today we were a couple minutes late. So, hey, Brad Smith, what are the updates? We will get there. You came to the right place, sir. Great to see you today. Thanks for joining us. What else do we have? Where's the beard, Peter? Yeah, I got a little trim, you know. It was time to ditch, what did Randy call it? The fresh out of prison look. Yeah,
Wow.
it's time to freshen up. That's, yeah.
How rude.
Not sure I would have, used those words to describe it. It's more of like a Seattle hipster vibe, and I'm going for something a little bit more fresh. But anyway, enough about me. Great to see you from Baltimore, Memphis, New Zealand, Kia ora. Luis Poppy, amazing. Great to see you there. Chris Monty, Joy, wonderful to have you here with us. Evan, Steven,
Chris
Martin,
Monty.
Bannerman in the house.
Hey,
Ryan,
man, how's it going?
I'm gonna
great to see
scroll
you all
up.
today. Hope your weekend was good. Happy Monday.
Yeah, wow, so many people joining in. Thanks for joining, everyone. We're really excited about this week. We do have some awesome updates coming this week. Yeah. So
Am I
first
still
off, one of
featured?
the bigger updates
I
that
have
we're
no
having
idea.
is we're going to be releasing a first trial run of the new Discover tab, which is going to be introducing categories. So
Was that a drum roll? Was that a drum roll?
yeah, that was my very low finger tapping drum roll there.
We gotta work on that. We'll
I
work
know. I need Olivia to be in here just drum rolling.
categories, guys. Finally,
Yeah.
after much ado, this is going to be our initial version here. We really look forward to your feedback. You'll be able to check this out almost immediately after this broadcast today. So our engineers have been working really hard on this, and you'll see the categories we have put together. You'll be able to get a sense, of who's doing what, and your community and your genre can have a home now. So this is really exciting. It's a big day in a lot of ways.
Yeah, we're really, really excited. So first off, the categories are going to be something that is used for the Discover tab, which is a variety of different things, right? So right now it's just like everyone and everything on the Discover tab, mostly obviously our VIP broadcasters, which someone asked, when are we going to introduce a verified? But the VIP badge is kind of like the verified badge, so to speak. It's not like verified in the sense that you're used to seeing on other platforms, but it's a badge nonetheless. So
Why is it saying?
what we
Is
will
this
be
still
doing now
live?
is that the Discover tab will be split up into those categories. The first release of this, which is actually coming right after this live broadcast. So hopefully as soon as this is over, you'll be able to go to the Discover tab, hit refresh, and then see the brand new
Let's look.
categories and sections that are there. Now, if you don't see yourself there, but you were on the Discover tab beforehand, don't worry. This isn't the final list. This is just the release, right? So we're just kind of releasing it. You're probably going to see a minimal amount of people in the Discover tab, but that's not everyone that's going to be in the Discover section as a whole.
Why does it
So
say
keep in mind,
replay if I'm
you
still
go to the
live?
Discover tab and you see the new categories and you're super excited, then you're like, wait a minute.
Sorry, I need
Why
coffee.
aren't I on here anymore? That's just not the final list of everyone, and we'll be updating that as we go,
Discover.
and kind of becoming a little bit more clear about what goes on there as well. And then hopefully with time, those categories will also develop into categories amongst the site and feed and overall discoverability of broadcast on the platform. So this is kind of like the first steps in the right direction, hopefully, with that. One thing you'll also note is the amount of categories that will be on there. Again, don't sound the alarms too soon. We are aware that there's not going to be a high amount of categories on the list to discover, but that is not in any way, shape, or form the final list of total categories that are going to be on the platform.
Master
So,
class,
another thing to note there as well.
food and cooking, travel, news and politics.
Anything else to add for that, Peter?
No, I was just going to say,
Arts.
we'll add in more categories as we go. We still need to
Music.
populate and basically ensure that we have, pretty solid, array of genres here that are popular enough to justify it. So we're going to be playing around with it. We'll see how this goes.
All right, let me try the feed.
We have a pretty cool system set up.
God.
And again, you'll be able to check this.
What about trending?
Categories on the Discover tab just after this episode. So around 4:30 Pacific time is when it should be rolling out, or shortly thereafter.
4:57.
Here we go. Wow. Twitch saying pretty good. That must be you, Pablo. You connected to Twitch now with that new integration?
I am connected to Twitch, and that
Nice.
looks like it's very random.
Yeah. I don't know, but glad you're using it at least. That's good. How many of y'all out there have used the new Twitch integration yet? Let us know. We're adding in more here as we go. New features all the time. Pablo, what's one of the other updates that people can expect this week? I think we had one other big announcement that we're hoping to make later this week. Not quite today, but we can tip our cards a little bit.
Yeah, so the next major update that's coming this week, in the middle of the week, is Android getting a facelift. So hopefully, as I mentioned last week on Friday, if all goes well with Google Play Store, we should be able to see the HAPS Android app updated here by mid to late this week. Meaning that the new broadcasting experience that has been available for iOS for 2 weeks now will then now be available for Android. That's really exciting because, as you all know, we were super happy and excited to announce the new broadcaster experience with everyone. But the reality is that we were a little bummed out because Android wasn't able to update as quickly due to some issues on that end. But we're really excited that is now moving over to Android, and then you all will have that experience here soon.
Doug says Android gonna be looking fresh for sure. It's time.
That is the goal.
It's time. Yeah. We'll keep you updated as soon as that launches, though. See you.
Pause. All right, where's the podfest messages, agenda, attendees, community? That's like I'm clicking on meetups and virtual meets. Back to, okay, join the art of storytelling. People, where's the raising empathy and values? Indian podcasters. Wait, is that, oh, that's not my time zone. So let me check for 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Why does it say 9 a.m.? 5 p.m. Where is, that's Tuesday. What about Monday? Clubhouse. Details. Join message. No, not that one. Join meeting. Wait, RSVP? Should I RSVP before I join the meeting room? App Store, Clubhouse. You have to use Clubhouse. So do I have to open my broadcast studio now? Because I guess I have to join the broadcast. Oh my God. Test the speakers. Join the broadcast. Why? Okay. I'm dropping the phone. You're on the computer. Can you hear me? Is the mic working? Clubhouse. Where's the Clubhouse app? Okay, what's this person's name? Julie Hood, Beth. Julie. Katie Couric's on here. Bethany Frankel's on here. All right, Julie Hood. Hood. Which one, the online course coach or the portrait photographer? Follow. And who's the other one? Beth Nidick. Beth Nidick. And not Beth Carlin, Beth Nidick. Media and publicity strategist, follow. All right, so is she live? Katie Brinkley, Les Brown. How do I know if she's on Media Club? She's been on Oprah. All right, but where's the room? Can't find it. All right, well, where's the room? Find people in clubs. Founders, 60-second pitch. Writer's room. Hustle House. Done speaking, hair salon, reinventing healthcare. I'm still podfest.
These are all my stuff. It's the same day at 2.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes, I'm not going to be in there, but hey, Marilyn, welcome. Hello. We are about to get started here to talk about PodFest. Beth and I are good friends who met during PodFest, so we want to tell you all about how
it looks like Marilyn is too. On the bio, it says all about PodFest. So why don't we?
Yeah. Let me.
Yeah.
Or go ahead, bring you up.
You have to do it. Yeah. Is that an oboe? I can't see because I'm blind. What's in the?
It's a clarinet I play in the One More Time Round Again marching band for the Portland Rose Parade, and it was our 25th year, and we had to do it on Zoom this year because it's the second largest all-floral parade next to the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Parade, which was. That parade was canceled this year as well.
Yeah.
Although they had something virtual, like a 2-hour TV special that I still need to watch.
Well, good for you. Welcome. Are you going to PodFest this year? Is that why it's in your bio?
Yes.
Awesome.
What are you looking to listen to?
Well, I was listening all afternoon. Plus, I was on the meetup at 5 a.m. when I couldn't sleep.
Good for you. May as well use that time, right? I don't know about you, but I hate laying in bed. I just get up.
I know that they say if you're not asleep in 20 minutes that you should get back up, but it's better for me to lay in bed because otherwise my head starts throbbing that time of day. But yeah, I was in bed from like 2:30 and didn't sleep until after 7 a.m. That's not frustrating at all.
No. Oh my goodness. I feel like we have met before, Marilyn, but I can't remember where. Maybe it was at Podfest. Were you at the last one?
Yes.
Okay, that may have been. I think I may have heard you speaking, asking questions, something at one point. So very cool. So tomorrow's schedule is going to be fantastic.
Well, I saw that lovely workbook that you created, babe.
Oh, that was you? I saw that. I haven't opened it yet.
I was like, nice.
Print out the first. It's about 8 or 10 pages, and it's got all of this week's stuff listed on a couple pages, so you don't have to scroll through all the different cons to see what the events are. So, but there's so much good stuff tomorrow. They're talking about video, and YouTube has a whole section, and then there's Women in Podcasting has a whole section that I was all excited about, and then there's some voice acting to help us speak better on our podcast. So,
I see that's at noon Eastern tomorrow.
yes,
Voice
you
acting.
totally need to jump into. Well, you probably know the stuff, but sort
No,
of.
I find myself talking in my nose a lot lately. I need to bring it down.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. So,
Yeah, you gotta talk from your diaphragm, not from your head. And when you have AirPods on, it's really hard to not talk from your head because you can't hear yourself or hear anything else. But that one looks really good. Women in Podcasting Con. So I have a question.
yes.
It's 1:30 to 6:30. So can I just listen? Do I have to like go in and out of each of the mini sessions? Or
No, they're all part of the main session.
Okay, so I can just kind of listen in.
Yeah, if you jump into that one, it'll keep you in all of those sessions until you leave, and you should stay. Just go into the next and the next. Now, the one thing I have noticed is when I'm on my computer, I have to be careful where I click because sometimes I click myself out of the room. Right.
Also on the computer, the times are East Coast times in the schedule, but on my phone, they're West Coast times. I'm on the West Coast, and like the time for this meetup, like I had to like realize that the times on the computer are East Coast times.
Oh, yeah. Gosh. So, Marilyn, do you have a podcast, or are you thinking about one? Or
Well, I got criticized multiple times because by one person for audio broadcasting on a video broadcasting app, and I've actually found the button where I can turn my video off and just audio broadcast, but a lot of times I audio broadcast. First of all, for whatever reason on my phone right now, I have to use data and not Wi-Fi, and when it was saying that the signal was bad, if I put it to audio only, then it's a better signal. But also, I just like audio broadcasting something, so it's like a podcast that sometimes stays and sometimes doesn't, depending on which app I'm on and whether it has replays and whether I delete the replays.
Gotcha. I don't know. I wouldn't listen to that one person. If that's what you want, go for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't listen to asshole. That's what I would say. Like, why are they telling you no? Yeah.
Well, because apparently it's not interesting to see a black screen.
For them. But if it's interesting to you.
It's much more, I could figure out how to put a picture on there, but I haven't figured it out yet. But on the new Haps app, but yeah, and like I was putting my stuffed dog on there to see if he'd get more views than me with this Haps challenge where you have to get 250 live views. Last week in an hour, Woof Woof got up to 98 views in an hour, and the other day got over 250 views in less than 35 minutes. And I'm like, great. My dog is more, because I don't know if you know Lisa Sansusi, but sometimes when she puts Lotus on and walks away, she gets more views than when she's on screen, and she has 135,000 viewers on Periscope. So, yeah.
I didn't even know Periscope was still a thing.
It is till March 31st. It's ending. That's why people are moving to Haps.
What's Haps?
Haps is an app where you can broadcast at one time to YouTube, even if you don't have 1,000 followers, you can go live on YouTube. Twitter, I have 2 Twitter's accounts. One of mine's linked to Periscope. One of mine is linked to Twitter. I can go live to Facebook and my Facebook fan page that I now have because people at Podfest told me to get one. I can go live to Twitch because they just added that. There was a way you could put in the code, but I didn't know how, but they added a button for it last week. You can also go live to Facebook. I said Facebook. Did I miss anything? Yeah, then the only problem is yesterday I had trolls coming in with the Trump 2024 and saying white racist comments, and they were coming from Twitter, but on Twitter they had a Dr. Fauci picture and a profile they have an account that's no longer there. There's some kind of hacker telling me they were in my phone, which I didn't believe, but they were on my broadcast and I had to mute each comment because I couldn't block them on Twitter because their account is no longer there. But I don't know if Twitter took their account down because it did stop after a while, but not after it was like stressing me out to the point where you think about ending your broadcast. And I said, well, you need a block button. And they said, well, you have a block button. I said, well, it doesn't work for people coming from other places. And what do you do when you go to that other place and their account doesn't exist? How are they still commenting in my broadcast?
Sounds like a bug.
Or a hacker. There was someone who made 2 comments in Twitch, and I haven't gone to Twitch. Well, I did go, but I couldn't find that. But that person only made 2 comments, and they'd be easy to block. But people try to scare you, and you do wonder if they really are in your computer or phone, if they're still commenting when their account no longer exists. But I don't think so.
Marilyn.
It's crazy. Well, they were.
I've never even heard of that.
Well, my broadcast is still up because I tagged like the people that are running the new app. But I left one of the comments visible. But yeah, this was going on. Like Lisa will get upset, but she'll either try to make friends with the trolls or shut her broadcast down and get upset. And I understand, like, because A, when you have a lot of people in your broadcast, it's hard to keep up with comments. And B, if there are trolls in there, it's hard to not let them derail your broadcast, which is what they're trying to do.
I had no idea.
You haven't had anyone trolling you? Like, you don't use...
I'm not saying no because now it's going to happen.
No, but I mean, you, like, there's a lot of trolls on Periscope, but the robots seem to have left. What? You're not on Periscope?
No, I'm not.
But, yeah, I don't normally get people because, like, I will, like, you know, excuse the language if it offends you, but I will tell people in my broadcast they're not going to fuck with me because I don't make friends with the trolls. I block them and report them.
Good
But
for you.
it's still stressful.
Wow.
So is there anything we can... Oh, you've done Podfest before, but is there anything we can answer for you about Podfest?
Probably not. I think you're probably on here trying to get people to come into your room to tell them about Podfest, but how do you get them to come into your room? Because when I went live on here the other day, nobody came into my room except for I invited one of the other ambassadors for the Never Settle show, and she came in and listened on Clubhouse, but nobody else came into my room.
You know, it's kind of hit or miss, and I think sometimes it depends on the day. Some days I will do a room and get a lot more people, and then tonight I'm noticing there a lot of the people that were following me are not they're not on tonight.
No, there's like nobody on tonight. It's so weird.
Yeah. So
What do you think that is?
Is there something on TV tonight or something?
Yeah.
Are they all watching The Bachelor on the East Coast? Is that what's up?
Is that on tonight or tomorrow? If it's on tonight, I might have to go.
Well, I don't know. I think it's on Monday night.
That's funny.
Well, because they always come on with the update on AM Northwest on Tuesdays, so I would think it would be on.
Let me ask. You guys, is The Bachelor on? Yep, it's on.
Well, that's probably your answer.
My two teenage boys and husband are all watching.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should let you go because I don't think it doesn't seem like our room is going to be too popular tonight, unfortunately.
That's
so
okay. We'll try again.
Yeah.
It was nice talking to you.
You too, Marilyn. Nice to meet you. Marilyn, I'm speaking about PR on Wednesday the 3rd, and Julie is speaking on Friday at 3, all about course creations. If any of those are what you need to listen to, please come and don't troll us, but ask us questions and be there with us.
All right. Well, I have one question before you go. There are some of these paid apps that can broadcast out to multi-platforms at the same time, like Haps. And my question is, if they can go out to all the platforms and they're all linked, if a hacker does get access to one of your accounts, are they going to get access to all of your accounts? Is that a bad thing to link all those accounts?
I have no idea.
All right.
It's a good question. I think they try. Well, number one, you should have, do you have two-step verification turned on all of your apps? Like I know Facebook and Instagram both have two-step verification. Have you ever heard of that before?
Yeah, I have two-step verification, but if I hit go live, it goes to all those platforms at the same time without having to put in two-factor auth. But I've linked them. But believe me, if I think there's any problem, I will take all the accounts. Like I will disconnect them all immediately. But I don't know if there's any more of a risk of it happening with a free app than a paid app. But
I would say potentially, and here's why. The free apps, if they don't have really good security people because they can't necessarily pay for good security people, I would say it's a bigger risk than using something like Restream or StreamYard that are bigger and have a better development team, more experienced development team probably. So that would be, if it were me, I've got an account on Restream that I haven't used yet, but that's my plan for being able to broadcast to multiple places. So you might think about it.
how many can you broadcast to at one time from Restream?
Oh my goodness, a lot. Gabe Alisi was talking about it.
Is there a free version?
I don't think so, but it wasn't too much to get started.
And Beth, am I keeping you from watching The Bachelor?
No. Let's see. You can get started for free, and it says 30 plus platforms. And then to do Facebook pages or groups, it's $16 a month.
All right. Well, the reason I'm trying out the Haps app is because everyone's going over there from Periscope. And it does look kind of cool when it says I have 4,000 followers because it adds up from all the apps. I actually have over 14,000, but it only counts the apps that are linked.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. But if I have that many followers, why can I only get 34 people in a broadcast in 2 hours?
You guys are talking like gibberish to me.
Oh, sorry. I'm not normally a numbers person, but when they say we'll give you $50 if you go do the challenge for 8 weeks, it's still $50 I could pay towards my bills. But someone said to me, you could make more money standing on the street with a sign. Anyway.
I would just focus on what you think how you can help the people in your audience.
Well, I offered him a free podfest global ticket link.
There you go. That's a good freebie to give away. But then just making sure that your broadcasts that you're doing are always educational, helpful information. That I think tends to attract a lot of people that will come back because they know you give out good information. So try that. Let us know how it goes.
Okay, I will. And I also live stream tech speakers, but not so much because of the pandemic. But what did you just say? You just asked me something?
No, I said good luck.
Oh, thank you. Nice to talk to you.
You're
okay.
welcome.
All right.
Take care, Marilyn.
Bye.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Oh, wait. Julie.
What? Oh, were you talking to me still?
No, I was talking to Julie.
Oh.
So, Bishop's over here.
I thought I hung up, but because you're in the bottom left, you're still here? You still hear me?
Yeah, you're still here.
How do you leave? I thought, okay. Hit leave?
I know. Yeah.
I'll try that. Okay. Somebody just gave me a heart on Haps. Thank you. Let's see. The Hustle House. Social media marketing secrets by celebrity coaches. And I'm done speaking. Accessibility on Clubhouse. Healthy Happy Hour. I'm looking at the Clubhouse. If you're nice to me, I have 9 Clubhouse invites at the moment. I will trade them for a car or an end to the pandemic. All right, let's check this out. Bitcoin, future cash flow. Should we check out the Purim event? See if it's still live. Purim is on Thursday night, but let's see. Someone sent me a message on Hoover. What does it say? Upcoming events, community. Let's check the meetups. My head is starting to throb. I never, woof, woof, where's my coffee? Woof, woof saying, what do you want from me? I already got you a gift box with 2 free coffee cards. Go get your own coffee. They're not open on Mondays. And Woof Woof is normally, like, that's me talking. Woof Woof doesn't talk like that. Woof Woof is polite. Always. All right. Let's see. Community virtual meetups. There's one at 7:30. Podcast for raising empathy and values. There's one at 5:30 for Indian podcasters. Southeast Asia podcasters. Cafecito en Español. The one I was just on. Live video tips for lawyers. One person going. Who? Jim. All right. Women in business stream has ended. So should I turn on the news or should I watch 10 more minutes of the HAPS update? Let's do that. No longer trending.
I saw a really cool bike broadcast that was out and about riding, which was really fun because I had just finished my bike ride when I saw that live, so that was really to see. Any time frame update on audio quality? That's a great question, Chris. So just to give you a little bit more of a view into HAPS, the next major update as far as like platform wide goes is comment latency. So we're really excited that we're super excited that the team has going to be prioritizing latency in the comments here for the next few days so that we can get that up to speed with a lot of the other live streaming platforms that you all are used to and have seen. So that's one of the major updates this week. Another is the viewer experience on the mobile side. So those are the 2 major updates that the team is working on. Latency should be something that's a little bit faster, but the viewer experience is going to take a little bit of time because it's a complete redesign of the HAPS viewing experience. So that's the 2 major updates that are being worked on. along with some of the like minor improvements. Then after that, I don't know entirely if this is true, but I do know that we want to really focus on improving quality of audio for musicians, because it's something that you all have been asking for, and so we'd really love to kind of make it happen.
No doubt. Yeah, so latency, right, being one of the next near-term priorities, potentially this week, our engineering team is shifting gears to that project here once the Discover tab is rolled out and all that. But yeah, very exciting, no doubt. We still have a number of things on the list, including accessibility. Good question. You should be able to adjust the font size at present now.
Yeah, so this is for iOS, and the way you can adjust the font size is if you have dynamic text size on in your iOS settings. I personally haven't played with this, so I'll have to actually do that, and then I can maybe post a step-by-step guide on my profile, or I'll do it for maybe I'll do 2 Tutorial Tuesdays tomorrow. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of
Man, got a lot of energy.
yeah.
You just do one long 12-hour tutorial.
Oh goodness, no, I don't have that much energy. No.
You need to get
But-
these sponsored first by Red Bull or somebody.
Right. Yeah, I got iced tea with no ice.
Man, living dangerously, huh?
I know,
That
right?
seems to defeat the purpose.
Does it, bro? It's
I don't
true.
know, man. Ice tea without ice just seems wrong. We could take
If
a
it's
poll
out of the
here.
fridge, does it defeat the purpose? I don't know. But yeah, so tomorrow we're having a really fun Tutorial Tuesday where we're going to be doing a full breakdown of the app and site in Spanish. So we're really excited about that, to kind of have something available for Spanish-speaking audiences, and hopefully in the future we can do that with some more languages. That would just be tea. Correct. But I feel like calling it tea when it's cold and not warm is also wrong. I don't know. Is mild, lukewarm tea? Oh God, that sounds gross.
Yeah.
I'm
Work on that.
taking my own grave here. But yeah, so maybe tomorrow I'll do a Tutorial Tuesday also to talk about the dynamic text of iOS and how to fix that. I have to ask the team to kind of give me a brief on that. But yes, you should be able to see a bigger text size if you have that on in your phone settings, to be exact.
Yeah, exactly. Spanish class as well, says Raymond. Yeah. It'd be good. I'll probably listen in. But, yo no hablo mucho de eso. Entiendo, pero no hablo con frecuencia.
Well, don't worry. For the non-Spanish speakers, there are plenty of Tutorial Tuesday videos on our YouTube playlist already that do a very good summary of everything that's going on. Tomorrow is mostly going to be, going over the studio in a quick, timely fashion, going over the site in general, the settings. So these are all things that already kind of exist within the Tutorial Tuesday videos that have already been uploaded. So yeah. I use 2 devices because my eyes are terrible. Yeah, Rick, I've seen that in your broadcast. To be fair, though, it seems like the first device where you have your initial camera from is actually really far away, and I don't think even I would be able to read from that distance. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, we will be, hopefully in the near future, including an update where you can select between regular font size, which is what we have now, and then larger, which will be a new addition. I have the phone on mic stand as my reader and stream audio and video into my comp. That's amazing. Yeah, that's a great setup, Rick. I've seen a lot of people do that, especially for those that like to also broadcast to Instagram. So they'll have their phone right besides them, also live on Instagram while the desktop studio is running, perhaps. If you can, email me on phone size. Yeah, we'll do. I'll take your email up and I'll send you a note. Hey, Helen, good to see you. I'm going to give you a Night Owl award just for joining our broadcast.
Nice.
So any questions from anyone? I'd love to kind of really have a Q&A here for the last 13, 14 minutes. Ah, there we go. Yassine. on iOS, has the tagging green mention gotten updated? And also a question about reacting to comments as a host of the room or a co-guest. That's a great question, Yassine. I haven't tested for that yet, but last time I was live on my phone, I was able to at least react, but I didn't mention anyone, so I wasn't sure, but I'll make sure to ask. Twice recently, I have lost a large number of coins. It may be my fault. I don't believe I have initiated a subscription. Where can I check this, please? Also, I might have accidentally touched the award button. Yeah, Derek, send me an email if you want to get to the bottom of this. But coins don't disappear. And I've had a few emails over the past 2 weeks of people and folks sending me notes. It's like, where did my 1,000 coins go? And you know, I can check and see like, oh well, you spent 50 coins a year, and so and so and so, and then the math adds up to where the total number of coins that you have now. However, that is something worth bringing up, that maybe we should have a coin breakdown so that you all can see exactly when you bought coins, you had this balance, you gave some, now you have this balance, so that you all can track that accordingly.
It'd be like Coin Quicken. You'll be able to see.
Yeah, it's like your coin bank account. You want to check and balance it all at the end.
Yeah, that's definitely on the list for keeping everybody more in the loop and being able to manage that. So, great question. Yeah, I just left Pablo's email there. He's the right person to handle that. Let's see, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram linked. However, when I go live, it's not showing it. Even have it in default. Huh. Joy, would love to hear a little bit more about the device setup you have and some details there. We'd be happy to work with you to make sure we can get that all set up smoothly. Is this a recent issue? Has this been going on for a while?
Question, when is HAPS, oh, sorry, Peter. While Joy gets back to you on that. When is HAPS implementing the feature where we can see who is in the lives with us? That's a question we get almost every single time when we do these updates. And unfortunately, I don't know that it's coming anytime super soon, but it is something that we want to eventually get to. Right now, everyone can see their total view count on their broadcast, both in the studio and in iOS. Coming to Android soon. But that's not like the current live viewers, and it also doesn't give you the list of the current live viewers. So that's something that we will hopefully get to soon. Also, Night Owl. Hey, Jay, it's good seeing you. I saw your broadcast earlier today. It was awesome. I've seen.
I have one.
Yeah, Helen, that's a great question. I have a question. I've seen incentivized broadcasters telling existing members of HAPS to create second accounts claiming some advice disallowed or against the rules, or is the incentive for new members only? So yeah, this is a test referral program that we're running. You can send me an email about it. I'm more than happy to answer that a little bit more in detail, but it is like a trial run of the referral program that we're running right now with a few broadcasters, and we'll hopefully be releasing that out to everyone in the near future. A few broadcasters have mentioned they don't know how to claim their award money. Is there a tutorial for broadcasters on how to claim their coins? There is no tutorial on that, but it's rather simple. So if you go to your account settings and then you go to earnings, that'll give you a breakdown of how to do so. Essentially what you need is you need to reach $200 USD in awards, and then you can request a payout, and then that gets handled on our end. Carlinda, I think I answered your question in a text. Don't do it. What do you mean, Nick, in regard, what do you mean don't do it? Hey, for Mobile Faces, how's it going? Is there any news on live links in our bio? That's a great question. Haven't gotten any news on that front, but I know we do want that here in the future. Is there any way we can arrange the list of people we follow? Arrange the list of people you like your subscriptions? I don't know if there's any site that arranges the list of people you follow besides maybe Instagram by least people you've followed most recently and longest ago. Total view count is a great feature. Thank you, Chris. Yeah. Is there a way to auto toggle between the boxes one has in their stream? Don't know what you mean by that. The boxes? Do you mean like how Peter and I are in this split screen right now? If you're live with the desktop studio, below the program window where you see yourself, there's 4 different layout options that you can choose from. I lost some questions. Do you have to withdraw your coins after 200, or can we let it build up till say Thanksgiving? So,
Black Friday, yeah.
Yeah, to kind of clarify that question, what you're earning is not coins. Your coin balance that you see in the top right corner is your coin balance that you either earn from like your login streak or you buy to give to other users. What you get as awards goes to your earnings in your settings. So they're essentially like two separate accounts, but they're not. They're just in 2 separate places so that you're like, whatever you earn doesn't go to your coins and you're not like using what you've earned on your broadcast. But yes, you can wait as long as you need to. I don't think there's a restriction on that. Is there a way to convert earnings back to coins to give back? That is a great question, Rick. Not yet. I actually asked this recently. But
on the list, though, yeah, we've got a couple people say that would be nice to more directly exchange, your earnings for more coins to give awards to other broadcasters. So yeah, you're definitely not alone in that. On our roadmap for sure.
Okay. Nick, I'm interested in hearing why you don't want to see who's in the broadcast. Olga Boga, my twin sister. Carrie, is that you? Did you make an Olga Haps account? What's going on? How do we contact you? Oh, I'll give you my email. So for those of you that need my email, it's going up in the comments now. So go ahead and screenshot that. There you go. Any chance we will see improvement on comments during replay? Comments during replay meaning like you want to see the comments come up the same way that they came during the live broadcast? If so, yes, that is on our list. And we hope to implement that in the near future. However, as I mentioned earlier, the 2 main updates that the team is working on right now is latency of comments during live broadcast and the HAPS viewing experience. Obviously, those are like the 2 new updates, but Android update is coming this week and some updates to the Discover tab. Conversion
What did he just say? Wait, what?
Not yet. I actually asked this recently.
On the list, though, yeah, we've got a couple people say that would be nice to more directly exchange, your earnings for more coins to give awards to other broadcasters. So yeah, you're definitely not alone in that. On our roadmap for sure.
Okay. Nick, I'm interested in hearing why you don't want to see who's in the broadcast. Olga Boga, my twin sister. Carrie, is that you?
How do you go live on this?
Did you make an Olga Haps account? What's going on? How do we contact you? Oh, I'll give you my email. So for those of you that need my email, it's going up in the comments now. So go ahead and screenshot that. There you go.
40 viewers. Somebody came in.
Any chance we will see improvement on comments during replay?
How do you go live on
replay,
Instagram?
Meaning like you want to see the comments come up the same way that they came during the live broadcast? If so, yes, that is on our list, and we hope to implement that in the near future. However, as I mentioned earlier, the 2 main updates that the team is working on right now is latency of comments during live broadcast and the HAPS viewing experience. Obviously, those are like the 2 new updates, but Android update is coming this week and some updates to the Discover tab. Conversion button rather than get a draw and buy. Oh, I don't know what that means. Oh, you mean like convert your earnings to coins? Yeah, we'll consider that in the near future here once the team gets some free time, which is never the case. But once the major updates are all rolled out for you all, and the improvements, we'd definitely
What
look
did he
into
just
some of the
say?
like
Sorry, my
wants.
ADD,
Will there
no
be another?
coffee.
So yeah, you're definitely not alone in that.
Want to see who's in the broadcast.
How do you go live on Instagram? Does anyone know?
Olga Boga, my twin sister. Carrie, is that you? Did you make an Olga Haps account? What's going on? How do we contact you? Oh, I'll give you my email. So for those of you that need my email, it's going up in the comments now. So go ahead and screenshot that. There you go. Any chance we will see improvement on comments during replay? Comments during replay meaning like you want to see the comments come up the same way that they came during the live broadcast? If so, yes, that is on our list, and we hope to implement that in the near future. However, as I mentioned earlier, the two main updates that the team is working on right now is latency of comments during live broadcast and the HAPS viewing experience. Obviously, those are like the two new updates, but Android update is coming this week, and some updates to the Discover tab. Conversion button rather than get a drawn by. Oh, I don't know what that means. Oh, you mean like convert your earnings to coins? Yeah, we'll consider that in the near future here once the team gets some free time, which is never the case. But once the major updates are all rolled out for you all, and the improvements, we'll definitely look into some of the like wants. Will there be another sale on coins in the near future? That's a great question, Ryan. The last time we had a sale on coins was the last weekend of January and the last few days of February coming up. So who knows? I don't know. We'll have to ask.
Good question here from Cher. Latency and lag. So we addressed this a bit earlier, but that is what our team is focusing on for the majority of this week. So do expect some updates further from us. It's a huge priority for both broadcasters and viewers. Need to be able to talk in closer to real time. So we've heard you. We've heard this from viewers and broadcasters, and we've noticed it ourselves. So certainly a big priority, and we'll do everything we can to bring it down here and make sure that it's in the ballpark here where you're expecting, and smooth as can be. So thank you for that. What's free time? Chris says, what's free time? Free time for us is also HAPS time. Let's see.
I think I heard that already.
Sometimes I like to just listen to a broadcast, interact. If they see me there, I feel like I have to respond. Got it. Yeah, that's fair. It's on our map for right now, but definitely, some people have said they like not seeing who's in the room. They feel less stress or pressure as well as broadcasters. So, yeah, up to. I think we'll have to have a little bit more discussion on this. It's definitely on our list, but it's not in the near term here right now.
Yeah. I may have missed a few questions here. Sorry.
I think we probably just missed a few.
What percentage does HAPS take on coins? So I'm trying to understand what you mean by that. So I'll answer one part of it, and then if that's not it, ask again, and I'll answer the other part of it. So when you receive an award from a user, like the High Five Award, that goes to your earnings, though. And from those earnings, when you request a payout, you get 100% of those earnings. So when you're receiving awards as a broadcaster, you're getting 100% of that, both in the process of it going to your earnings and in the payout. And if it's the other part of the question, then go ahead and let me know, and I'll answer that as well. I think I know the answer. Actually, I don't think I know the answer. Peter, do you know the answer?
I don't even know what the question is.
No, I don't. And
okay,
so
we'll have to find the answer and get back to everyone on Thursday.
I also have been mainly trying to answer all these other questions as they're coming in. So
yeah, are puppets allowed on this app? Asking for a friend. Yes.
Indeed, most certainly they are. Bring out the puppets. Let's do this thing. It's time.
Great job.
Were they holding off for a reason, or puppet o'clock?
I know, right? So for those of you that still have their login streaks going, I'm in.
Listen to a broadcast, interact. If they see me there, I feel like I have to respond. Got it. Yeah, that's fair. You know, it's on our map for right now, but definitely, you know, some people have said they like not seeing who's in the room. They feel less stress or pressure as well as broadcasters. So, yeah, you know, up to. I think we'll have to have a little bit more discussion on this. It's definitely on our list, but it's not in the near term here right now.
Yeah. I may have missed a few questions here. Sorry.
We probably just missed a few.
What percentage does HAPS take on coins? So I'm trying to understand what you mean by that. So I'll answer one part of it, and then if that's not it, ask again, and I'll answer the other part of it. So when you receive an award from a user, like the High Five Award, that goes to your earnings, though. And from those earnings, when you request a payout, you get 100% of those earnings. So when you're receiving awards as a broadcaster, you're getting 100% of that, both in the process of it going to your earnings and in the payout. And if it's the other part of the question, then go ahead and let me know, and I'll answer that as well. I think I know the answer. Actually, I don't think I know the answer. Peter, do you know the answer?
No, I don't. And
okay,
so
we'll have to find the answer and get back to everyone on Thursday.
I also have been mainly trying to answer all these other questions as they're coming in. So
yeah, are puppets allowed on this app? Asking for a friend. Yes.
Indeed, most certainly they are. Bring out the puppets. Let's do the thing. It's time.
Great job.
Were they holding off for a reason, or puppet o'clock?
I know, right? So for those of you that are still have their
What
login
did he just say?
I'm
That's the
curious
second
to
time.
hear
I'm going to
how
try
many
one more
days-
time.
Yeah. I may have missed a few questions here. Sorry.
We probably just missed a few.
What percentage does HAPS take on coins?
No, I heard that question.
So I'm trying to understand what you before.
Oh my gosh, I was at 107, and I think we'll have to have a little bit more discussion on this. It's definitely on our list, but it's not in the near term here right now.
Yeah. I may have missed a few questions here. Sorry.
We probably just missed a few.
What percentage does HAPS take on coins?
Again, I heard this part.
So I'm trying to understand what you mean by that. So I'll answer one part of it, and then if that's not it, ask again, and I'll answer the other part of it. So when you receive an award from a user, like the High Five Award, that goes to your earnings, though. And from those earnings, when you request a payout, you get 100% of those earnings. So when you're receiving awards as a broadcaster, you're getting 100% of that, both in the process of it going to your earnings and in the payout. And if it's the other part of the question, then go ahead and let me know, and I'll answer that as well. I think I know the answer. Actually, I don't think I know the answer. Peter, do you know the answer?
No, I don't. And
okay,
so
we'll have to find the answer and get back to everyone on Thursday.
I also have been mainly trying to answer all these other questions as they're coming in. So
yeah, are puppets allowed on this app? Asking for a friend. Yes.
Indeed, most certainly they are. Bring out the puppets. Let's do the thing. It's time.
Great job.
Were they holding off for a reason, or puppet o'clock?
I know, right? So for those of you that are still have their login streaks going, I'm curious to hear how many days you all have, because I'm at 124.
Oh my gosh, I was at 107, and I missed the day, guys. I missed
wow.
the day 2 weeks ago.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was gut-wrenching actually when I signed on. It was like one day in a row. I was like, no.
Yikes.
Yeah, I was traveling. I didn't have any internet either, but no excuses, guys. I just had to get that off my chest. Not proud. Not proud. 10, 70, 60 range. It's pretty good. Harbor Journal says Twitter troll who could not be blocked.
I just answered that question. So if you have a troll from Periscope, you cannot block them from within HAPS. You can mute them And then in order to actually block them, you would have to have like a Periscope moderator on and have them do it for you, or you would have to go to Periscope on a second device or find them after the fact and then block them. But unfortunately, we just don't have the ability to have you block users from another platform yet. And I don't know if that's even possible. 66 or 67. Great job, Helen.
Every day since I joined, I've not logged out. That's amazing.
Wow, Lenny. Great.
Incredible. That's
Joe,
incredible.
that's a great number. Johnny B, 72. Amazing. Raymond's at 68, 71. Wow. That's awesome. Y'all are amazing. Space Gal, 66.
Hello.
Am I late to the party? Retta, you already missed the party. You're not just late. You completely missed it. We have 30 seconds left of this broadcast. Oh, weird. They were unblockable on Twitter. I don't know what's going on there. I mean,
That's like a Twitter issue to me.
that is a definite Twitter issue if that's the case. Luis, 120. That is the closest number I've heard to my 124. Amazing.
Hello.
Wow, that's incredible. I think I was right up near that range when I fortunately had my hiccup.
Hi.
But let's see here.
Wolf is
Started
listening
in December
to
sometime. Never missed a day yet. Wow.
the people from
Impressive, Rick.
Haps.
That's awesome. Wow. It's a hard truth about playing music.
What's the hard truth? They
Oh,
need to
me?
fix. Yeah, I agree. They need to fix it so you can see the
do you mean in the
comments
background?
on the replay
Yeah.
at the right
Well, I mean,
time.
for now, you're pretty much taking that on, your own onus there, legally. So, we have the responsibility, obviously, to respect all IP laws, remove things on our end immediately if they're reported to us. But, it's your choice and your discretion right now. We know, and you guys can see, we do not have anything like Twitch, right, which automatically will basically cover over or mute certain sections. So essentially, it's kind of your skin in the game. So use your best judgment and be respectful.
Shout out to Joy. That's 55 days in a row.
That's
Great
awesome.
job. That's awesome.
That's great. Chris Gales in the house.
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Speaking of music, Chris Gales has said, feel free to use his music from Spotify in the background. Chris is incredibly talented. I've seen a few amazing musicians here, just in the comments here.
Yeah, Rick Bozart's in the comments.
Yeah. Chris.
Olga's in the comments.
Is that a musician? I'm not exactly sure.
That's a musician in disguise.
All right, I've already heard all this. I'm gonna mute this and.
Homie has a great show, says Rick. Yeah, big time.
How do
He
you
does
mute?
have a great show.
All right, I'm gonna.
Bannerman is promoting his friend Eddie McDaniel, who's going to be broadcasting tomorrow.
All right, I'm gonna see what the news has to say. I'm gonna end the Instagram live. I just wanted to see how it worked because they said if you want to go on Haps and broadcast on Instagram, you have to turn on Instagram live on another phone because it doesn't link to Instagram. So I didn't know how to do it. So bye, guys.
But Pacific Source is also here to help members find solutions for adequate housing, transportation to doctor's appointments, and even help with food security. How many health plans do that? Going beyond what's required. Just another way Pacific Source Health Plans puts members first.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 15 vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game, so you better bundle up. Toyota.
Get $1,000 customer cash on a new 2021 RAV4, or you can lease a new 2021 RAV4 for $239 a month. Find tours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Thank you, Oregon, for staying 6 feet apart.
Toyota of Portland, out of downtown and just north of Moda Center. 0 out of pocket, 0 first payment, and 0 stress. $339 per month.
Woof woof. Can you get 200 viewers? 210 more viewers.
Portland, 0, 0, 0.
Cookies. No. Female Eagle Scouts.
Celebration for the inaugural class of female Eagle Scouts. Yesterday, they were honored with a virtual ceremony highlighting the thousands of hours they have dedicated to service and leadership. 8 local scouts are among the first girls in the U.S. to earn the Boy Scouts of America's highest rank. By the way, only 6% of scouts in the BSA typically earn the esteemed badge. Congratulations to all of our Eagle Scouts. We should be so proud. Thank you for joining us here for KGW News at 5 o'clock. NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt is coming up next.
So you went to Ross to refresh your look for less and snag top brands for prices that have you like, oh yeah, styles that take you here, or even right there. Slip into the best bargains ever at Ross. Yes for less.
With your rescuing engine, always contemplating what to do in case heaven is found.
You know when you're at Ross, you find just what you need to make any space your space? Yes, that's yes for less. Get the best bargain ever for every room and every budget at Ross. Yes for less.
Breaking news tonight, President Biden holding a national moment of silence at the White House as America marks a grim milestone. The U.S. surpassing its staggering